Hello everyone, this is Peter Bull from Get in Touch Books. Today I want to talk to you about the cycle of motivation. Now, motivation is a very interesting topic, and much has been read about it and written about it over the years. There are two things basically that motivate people. One is pleasure and the other is pain. Pain is a kind of motivation where you want to get away from something, whereas pleasure is a kind of motivation where you want to move towards something, and they're very, very different. The difference between pain motivation and pleasure motivation is the length of time that you remain motivated. With pain motivation, because you're trying to get away from something, you're motivated for very short spaces of time. And this motivation is very intermittent, because you're trying to get away from the fear and the anxiety that the motivation will naturally trigger. With pleasure motivation, this is long-term motivation which will last. This is goal-centered motivation and is very popular with a lot of modern psychology and psychotherapy. To focus on the future is very much to do with goal-centered motivation, whereas pain-centered motivation often focuses on the past. It's like the difference between anxiety and depression. Depression is something to do with the past, and anxiety is something to do with the future. But if you focus on pleasure motivation, that is the motivation to achieve something, you get excited about it and thrilled about it. And that motivation lasts a lot longer than the pain motivation. Whatever form of motivation you have, you need to have the right setup in your system to make the motivation work. The first thing you need to consider with motivation is, are you relaxed? Are you getting enough sleep? Because without sleep, you're going to find it very difficult to be motivated. Interrogators often use a lack of sleep to encourage people to reveal information that perhaps they wouldn't otherwise reveal. This is because a lack of sleep demotivates you. Also, you need to be well fed. You can't be motivated if you're starving. Alternatively, it's very difficult to be motivated if you're overfed, if you've eaten too much. So you have to get the eating about right. Thirdly, you must be well watered, you must be hydrated. Motivation's much better if you're not constantly thinking about being thirsty. So when you're trying to get motivated for something, make sure you've slept well, you eat well, and you've drunk well. And that will all help you with your motivation. Now, it's no good setting goals if those goals are not realistic. So be motivated towards a particular goal, break it into small bite-sized chunks, little bits that you can do over a period of time. If you want to be motivated to lose weight, that's fine, but it's no good thinking about 50, 60, 70 pounds or 30 kilos. Think about it a pound at a time, or half a kilo at a time. And over time, motivation grows. Because as you get success, as you get results with positive motivation, with success motivation, then you will get more motivated. Unfortunately, with the other kind of motivation, the pain reduction motivation, it doesn't work like that. You're constantly wanting to move on and not focus on being motivated to achieve the result. So these two types of motivation are crucial, and they work very, very differently from one another. But don't worry, because both types of motivation are useful, and they also grow. It's like income rather than capital. You can actually build motivation on motivation. And one of the most powerful things is to take a negative motivation or a pain reduction motivation and turn it into a positive. So, for example, if you're trying to lose weight, which might seem negative in the first part because you're having to deny yourself of certain foods or whatever, can become positive because your weight loss can be used to many advantages, maybe to get fitter, to find a better job, to improve life generally. So as you go through your life, motivation becomes a very crucial part of how you function. Motivation to find a partner is very powerful. That would be a positive motivation. But motivation to get divorced tends to be a negative one, even though you might need divorce in the sense that your relationship has completely broken down. It's still a negative motivation. So I just want to mention this to help you understand how motivation works. Anyway, if you want to know more about motivation, you can always call me or email me on the bestsolution@icloud.com. So this is Peter Bull from the Get in Touch book series. Speak to you soon. Bye.